Hey guys, welcome to Thursday's workout. What we're going to do is stick with the same theme that we've had all week, where there's 5 basic things that we're going to do throughout this workout. This workout will take you about 30 minutes in length. And the first thing we're going to do is warm up. And our warm up is going to be just a little bit different than what we've had all week. We're just going to concentrate on our upper body today during our warm up. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a brief shoulder circuit, which we basically move our arms in 5 different directions. And each direction we're going to do it for 30 seconds. So our first movement in our shoulder circuit is going to be just straight front raises. So we're simply raising our arms in front of our body. Okay? So we're just simply going to come up and down in front of our body for 30 seconds. So this is a front raise. Our second portion of our shoulder circuit is going to be a side raise. And again, for 30 seconds, we're simply coming out to the side of our body. The third movement we're going to do is a military press, or what we would do in the weight room is a military press, where our elbows are at 90 degrees and we simply lift above our head or our body. So we're going to have a military press for 30 seconds. Our fourth part of our shoulder circuit is going to be a fly. In which we are basically, again, 90 degrees at the elbow, but we're going to come in front of our body, and we're going to go as far back as we can. In front of our body, as far back as we can. So we're going to do what's called fly for, again, 30 seconds. That's our fourth movement of our shoulder circuit. The fifth movement of our shoulder circuit is just a lateral hold. We're just sticking our arms out directly even with our shoulders, and we're going to hold this for 30 seconds as well. So 5 basic movements of our shoulder circuit. Okay? It's going to be a time to pause and go ahead and get into our exercise and complete our work.
Okay guys, we're going to get into the muscle-specific exercises, and the first thing we're going to start with today is push-ups. With our push-ups, we're going to make sure our elbows are in nice and tight. Okay? We're nice and flat, the back and butt, chest all the way down to the ground, and back up. So we'll pause right here, and we will do our first muscle-specific exercise. Okay, our second lift today will be lunges. And you can find a broomstick, you can find a log, anything that you can extend and hold above your head for the lunges. As we do overhead lunges, will work. Any household item that you can find. And we are going to go one leg at a time. Up, switch legs, up, switch legs, nice and under control, feet in tight, and make sure, it's really important that I don't extend my knee out over my toe, leaning forward like so when I do this. We want to keep the pressure off of our ligaments and joints on our knee and just solidify and concentrate on those specific leg muscles. So we'll pause here and do our overhead lunges. Okay, finally for our muscle-specific exercises, we are going to do a tricep workout. We're going to do tricep extensions. And you can find anything in your house like this, anything that you can hold here with your elbows about like so, and extend out. Really targeting those tricep muscles. with your elbows in nice and tight. If you can't find something like this, and you can only find, like, let's say a jug of water or a bag of laundry detergent, whatever it may be, where you can also use one arm and just do that one arm at a time. So we will pause this video and hit our final muscle-specific exercise with our tricep extensions.
Okay, now we're going to go into our core, and we're going to have just 2 exercises for our core work today. The first one is going to be called a 3-point plank, and we have done a 4-point plank before or in the past, but now we're simply going to have 3 limbs on the ground rather than 4. And so the limb that we're going to eliminate is one of our forearms. So we want to make sure that we start off in a 4-point plank with a straight line, and then we are going to try to go ahead and lift up a forearm. One of the core jobs that I'm doing right now is, you might have seen, when I lifted up one of my arms, my hips and shoulders shifted with it. We want to try to keep our shoulders and hips the same distance off the ground, even when we lift up one of our limbs. Okay? So that's our first core exercise. Our second core exercise is going to be what's called a glute bridge. And a glute bridge is when we're going to be working on the backside of our core. So we want to make sure we're basically in a sit-up position with our feet flat on the ground. And all we're going to do is simply lift our hips off the ground and thus create a bridge. Okay, so we're going to then contract our lower back and into the back part of our leg. Okay, so we have 2 core exercises, a 3-point plank, and a glute bridge. Now would be the time we're going to pause and start our exercises. Okay, for our superset cardio today, I think the most important part of our entire workout. We're trying to strengthen our biggest muscle, our most important muscle, that's our heart. And so if we're not able to go outside and run around a little bit, this is the most important part of our workout, is our superset cardio. And so what we're going to do for superset cardio, our 3 exercises, is going to be jumping, sit-ups, and push-ups. Okay? Not going to demonstrate sit-ups and push-ups, but I'm going to demonstrate the jumping, because there's 2 different types of jumping that you could do based on maybe what you got around the house. If you happen to have steps, okay, it could be obviously steps up to the second story, or maybe just be steps up on the front porch, or what have you. This cooler represents a step. Okay, so if I'm using this step, what I want to end up doing is I want to try and jump off both of my feet, land on top of the step, and then jump down again. Okay, so if I can go up and down, we're going to do that 50 times. That's the first exercise. It's 50 total jumps up and down. Okay, then I would get into 50 sit-ups, and then I would get into 25 push-ups, and that would be 1 round. Okay, we're going to do 2 rounds total. If you don't necessarily have a step around, maybe you can find a line. Okay, so this PVC pipe represents a line in your house. It could be, again, a crack in the driveway. It could just be any sort of line that you want to create. But what we're going to end up doing now is, instead of jumping on top of a surface, now we're going to be jumping just simply over, back and forth 50 times on a flat surface. Okay, so if we can't create elevation, we can definitely have a flat surface and go 50 times back and forth on a line on the floor. Okay, if you choose that for 50 jumps, that's great. And then we instantly go into 50 sit-ups and 25 push-ups. So we're going to go 2 rounds total, and then you're going to record your time on weekly log 14. Okay, so let's go ahead and pause the video and go ahead and get our superset cardio in, and we're going to record our time in weekly log 14. Our cool down and flexibility training today is basically going to take 6 total minutes. We're going to do just 2 stretches. Okay, and so what we're first off going to do is we're going to get into a lunge position. This is also called a Samson position. So we're going to go ahead and have our knee on top of our toe, okay, and our knee even with our hip on the back side. I could probably get a little bit further away, but what we're trying to stretch is we're going to stretch the upper half of our quad into our hip, and even into the lower part of your core. So whatever is in the, like on my right side is back right now, that's what I'm trying to stretch. So what I'm trying to do also too is I lean forward. I can lean forward as far as I can until I feel that stretch. And we're going to be in this position for 2 minutes. Other variations that you could do, like we did earlier in the week, is that we can also lift hands above head, and also to lean back just a little bit to get to create more stretch even into your core and more into your abdominals. So we're going to stretch for 2 minutes on the right side, and then we would switch and we would do 2 minutes on the left side. So now we're trying to get into our upper quad and into our hip flexion. Very important that we stretch into our hip flexion. Our second stretch, or I guess third set of 2 minute stretch, we're going to continue to try to get into the hips. This time, old school butterfly stretch, in which our feet are going to be together. We're simply going to grab our toes. We're going to let our knees kind of dangle down a little bit. And if we can, apply just very, very minimal pressure with our elbows down on our legs. And then this is also to get into a relaxed position over the course of 2 minutes to not only stretch the interior of our upper thigh, but also into our lower back. So we'll start to feel a stretch in the last 30 to 45 seconds into our lower back. Okay? So that's going to be our cool down flexibility training today, is that Samson and that butterfly stretch. Also, too, again, very important, create a schedule every day where you're working out